The SOS wasn't meant for Earth. That was the first mistake. The second was assuming no one would answer in time. By the moment our shields collapsed and the stars beyond the viewport turned the color of burning metal, I believed, with perfect, bone-deep certainty, that the Lyrian Compact was about to die alone in the dark. I was wrong. And what answered our call would change the balance of the galaxy forever. Act I, the hook. The first scream came from the navigation pit. Not fear. Not pain. Shock. Contact, unknown fleet, the officer cried, mandibles twitching uncontrollably. They are not on any registry. I gripped the edge of the command dais as the station Orelys Prime shuddered under another orbital strike. The Keth Dominion battleships hung outside the viewports like iron moons, methodically dismantling us piece by piece. We had no war fleet, no standing army. We were diplomats, scholars, traders, and we were losing. Transmit the SOS again, I ordered. All frequencies. Civilian channels. Military channels. Anything. My aide hesitated. Envoy Threx, one of the frequencies is marked restricted. Origin, Sol System. Earth. A death world. Every galactic brief warned the same thing. Do not provoke humans. Do not involve them in regional conflicts. If they arrive, escalation is inevitable. But inevitability meant nothing when extinction was seconds away. Send it, I said. The signal leapt into the void. And somewhere, impossibly far away, something ancient and dangerous stirred. Because that was only the beginning. Act 2, the escalation. The Keth didn't rush us. They never did. They were conquerors who believed patience was a weapon. Their ships, sleek, organic, grown rather than built, circled slowly, firing just enough to keep us panicked, just enough to let hope linger. Hope was more painful that way. They are preparing boarding spores, my tactical officer whispered. Once they breach, there will be no survivors. I knew what that meant. The Keth didn't enslave diplomats. They made examples. Minutes passed. Then more. No response. My chest felt hollow. Foolish, for believing a myth might save us. Then the stars bent. Not warped. Bent. Space itself folded inward like a wounded thing. An alarm screamed across every deck as gravitational readings spiked beyond safe parameters. What did you do? Someone shouted. I stared at the forward viewport and felt fear on a scale I had never known. Because the void tore open, and Earth's war fleet emerged. The arrival. They didn't arrive neatly. No elegant formations. No ceremonial spacing. They erupted from hyperspace like a stampede. Colossal vessels, scarred, asymmetrical, bristling with weapons, forced their way into real space, tearing radiation scars across the vacuum. Hulls bore impact marks from weapons I couldn't identify. Some ships were still venting plasma, as if they had come straight from another war. The Keth froze. Every hostile maneuver stopped. Identify the fleet, I whispered. The comms officer swallowed. Transponder reads. United Earth Defense Coalition. A pause. Classification. Deathworlder Warfleet. Silence fell over the command deck. Then a single transmission cut through every channel. This is Admiral Elena Ward, Earth Defense Coalition. A human voice said, calm, steady, terrifyingly composed. We received your SOS. Her image appeared. Pale skin, dark eyes, uniform marked with symbols of rank earned in blood. We're here, she continued. And we have questions. I didn't feel relief. I felt dread. Because none of us were prepared for the truth. First turning point. The Keth warlord responded first. His massive form filled the screen, bioluminescent crests flaring in agitation. "Human fleet," he hissed. "This system is under Keth dominion. Withdraw or be destroyed." Admiral Ward didn't blink. "Negative," she said. "You are attacking a non-hostile civilization under Interstellar Treaty." The warlord laughed, a wet, clicking sound. "Your treaties mean nothing here." Ward leaned closer to the camera. "They mean something to us." The human ships began to move. Not toward the Keth. Toward us. My breath caught. Why are they interposing themselves? Because the humans placed their fleet directly between Orelys Prime and the Keth Armada. A living shield. "Are they insane?" my aide whispered. No. They were committed. And that realization changed everything. Mid-story owie hook. The unexpected choice. The Keth fired. A full barrage. Energy beams lanced across space, slamming into the human forward line. Explosions rippled along armored hulls. One cruiser lost a section of its flank, spinning violently as damage control teams fought to keep it intact. The humans did not return fire. Not yet. "Why aren't they attacking?" my tactical officer demanded. Admiral Ward answered without realizing it. "This is your last warning," she broadcast to the Keth. "Stand down. Withdraw. No more lives need to be lost." The warlord hesitated. That hesitation fractured his authority. Some Keth ships pulled back. Others powered weapons higher. Indecision spread. Humans exploited it. Not with violence, but with movement. They reconfigured their formation, isolating individual Keth vessels, cutting off lines of support, jamming communications with terrifying efficiency. "They are dismantling the fleet," I whispered, "without destroying it." "Why?" The answer came moments later. Act 2, the low point. The Keth warlord made his decision. He targeted the station. A massive spinal weapon on his flagship began to charge, bioreactors glowing like a dying sun. "Shields won't hold," my aide said, voice breaking. I watched the human fleet react instantly. Several ships surged forward, positioning themselves directly in the weapon's path. "No," I whispered. "They don't have to." The weapon fired. Space ignited. The impact hammered the human line. 2 ships vanished in incandescent light. Another broke apart, debris scattering like falling stars. The shot bled through. Our shields failed. Orelys Prime shook violently. Sections went dark. Atmosphere vented into space. I fell to my knees. I had doomed them. And still, the humans advanced. That was the moment I understood. Humans weren't here to win efficiently. They were here to draw a line. And they would die before allowing it to be crossed. Act 3, the payoff. Admiral Ward reopened the channel. Her face was streaked with blood. One eye flickered with augmented data. "You've made your choice," she said to the warlord. "Now we make ours." The human fleet unleashed hell. Weapons unlike anything in galactic records tore through the void, kinetic strikes moving at relativistic speeds, gravity shear cannons that folded space around Keth ships, electromagnetic pulses that shut down biotech systems instantly. The Keth fleet collapsed in minutes. Not destroyed. Crippled. Boarding vessels launched from human carriers, sleek, brutal craft carrying soldiers bred on a world of storms, predators, and endless war. I watched feeds from captured Keth ships. Humans moved with terrifying calm. No cruelty. No hesitation. They disabled. Secured. Stabilized. Even wounded enemies were treated. Why? I asked aloud, tears burning my eyes. After what they did, why show mercy? Admiral Ward stood beside me moments later, having transferred to the station once the fighting ended. Because power without restraint is just another kind of monster, she said quietly. I looked at her. Your fleet could rule this sector. She nodded. We know. That answer frightened me more than any weapon. The aftermath. The Keth survivors were taken into custody. Not executed. Not enslaved. They were put on trial by a coalition that hadn't existed until humans forced it into being. Aureli's Prime survived. Barely. As repairs began, I stood in the docking bay watching human crews work alongside my people, laughing, arguing, sharing stories of distant stars and impossible battles. I realized then what made humans truly dangerous. Not their weapons, not their resilience, but their choice. They could conquer. They chose to protect. Ending. Before the fleet departed, Admiral Ward met me one last time. Why answer our SOS? I asked. It wasn't meant for you. She smiled faintly. On Earth, she said, we learned a long time ago that silence in the face of suffering is a decision. Her ships departed soon after, vanishing into folded space like ghosts of war. The galaxy would debate their arrival for generations. Fear them. Admire them. Misunderstand them. But I will remember one truth above all others. When the universe cried for help, Earth didn't ask who deserved saving. It simply sent everything it had.